It caught on in a flash.
They played the mash.
They played the monster mash.
I'm Luke Summerhays.
I'm James J. Miles.
I'm Andrew Rice.
And you're listening to Monster Mash.
And this time, we're hunting the Arzuros.
Beasts known to dwell in humid forest and mountain regions. Though known more for fishing and standing upright to collect honey, their thick claws and heavy forearm plating allow them to deliver powerful blows to any aggressor.
Powerful forearm
So basically-
plating? Do we consider their forearm plating to be powerful?
Yeah, it's quite rough, isn't it? Quite.
I mean,
Bit armour?
it's spiky, but like you don't bounce off it or anything, do you?
I think it's got more protection than it does like in its soft underbelly.
He's definitely got soft spots and hard spots.
I mean, I noticed it more with the Redhelm, but not necessarily the main dude himself. But
Mean did have
I mean,
some.
he is just like pretty low rank monster, so it's just that we're clobbering him at this point. But I suspect if you actually look at the numbers, there is a lot more defense on the armored bits than the other bits.
yeah, could be.
So the Arzuros is a big blue bear.
Big blue friendly bear. Well, unless you bother him, in which case he's not quite so friendly. But yeah, that's basically what I took from your little the intro discussion there, like the actual the monster notes there, because it seems like unless he's bothered, he's not really going to cause too much problems for you.
Yeah, he's like pretty nicely modelled on a real bear.
Yeah, just after his honey and his fish. But if you go for him, bad news.
He's also,
Feel
for a
low
change,
ranked.
got a nice simple name.
Arzuros?
Yeah, it's a combination of Azure and Arctus, and it just means blue bear.
Blue bear. Fair enough. Good naming. Good
I
naming.
like that. That's...
I mean, as a fight goes, he's pretty fun. But you know, he attacks at the front, and you roll around and stab him in the bum.
Yeah, he's
Which
very
is-
much early low rank monster, isn't he? You know, like it just basically teaches you try and avoid the attacks. you might win.
I see.
He was-
being one of the beasts. I do always quite enjoy the beast fights because they are a little different to the big wyverns that you're fighting throughout most of the game.
Yeah, you don't really get enough mammals in Monster Hunter, and
I always feel that we could
always
do
got a
with
lot
a
of time
few
for bears.
nastier versions of them because obviously the further up you get, the more dragon-like they get. And
I mean, you do eventually get your Rajang, but I know what you mean. That's pretty much the only one.
I suppose your deviants are trying to like add a bit of variety to that, but we'll get to
yeah,
that, I
I'm
suppose, a bit.
imagining that the harder versions of the Redhelm will be hopefully a decent fight. But...
I think so, but it was a fairly tough cookie just doing him there with the three of us.
Yeah, that's true.
I suppose that's one thing we should add. We're without James Adjuster Stewart this week.
We don't actually know where he is. We've had no contact with him for 16 hours. We're fairly confident he's just asleep because he does do this.
That's true.
Like a sleepy bear.
Yeah. A minute ago you were saying he's quite a good early monster. He was in Monster Hunter 3, the game where he was introduced, the first Urgent.
Really? Yeah, there we go then. Yeah.
Like, he is designed to be an introductory little beast.
Yeah, definitely feels like that. And what he's one of the first set of different monsters you unlock after the Great Macow Generations as well, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, he's in that. He's in a 2-star quest.
And you get like the Alagombe, Arzuros, maybe a Gendrome, something like that. The kind of early, your basic early low rank monsters to kind of bash in.
From his behaviour and also from all his animations, like he really is like just like a real life bear.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the quest we did with the Arzuros that I mentioned. I just wander onto my farm. I can't get my crops harvest. You go take him out, please, just because he's a bit of a bother. Like it's much the same as the like you're like a bulldrum or something. He just rumbles up and is a bit of a nuisance, and they send the local hunters out to go to take care of him.
If you went back to Europe a couple hundred years ago, this would just literally be what happened when a bear went into the village.
Yeah, they would send like a hunting party out to go kill the bear, or capture the bear rather.
So the Arzuros is one of my favourite monsters in the game because bears are my favourite animals. I love bears, animal rights and all that, and the sort of real life murdering of bears makes me sad. Kicks out for Harambe.
Brilliant.
If I'm playing like Far Cry or Assassin's Creed 3 or The Witch, and I stumble across a bear, I either leg it or let it kill me.
It's lucky you're not like a big achievement fan, because that would be a problem.
Like, what are you gonna do if there's like a bear boss in a game, or a bear boss rumbles up? What are you gonna do there? You have to beat it to advance.
I literally, before playing through the Tomb Raider reboot, looked up to check there wasn't an unskippable bear.
Oh,
Wait.
those unskippable bears.
Do you not have to kill that bear?
I haven't played Rise of, but in the original Tomb Raider there's no bear.
Right,
But
okay, yeah, that's
that's me not playing that one then.
spoilers for Rise of the Tomb Raider, which came out yesterday on PS4.
There's an unskippable bear.
I even start websites checking that only for my benefit. But
Bear
in
benefits of the world.
Bears.com.
Dragon Age Origins, there is a
Wait,
quest
did
which
you say
involves.
gamingbears.com? That's not going to be about animals, is it?
Yeah, that was the lead up, and I'm glad someone picked it up.
In Dragon Age Origins quest where you have to kill a family of bears, and I didn't want to do it. I ran away, but my party killed them all. But yeah, I remember being simultaneously like, well, that is a quest completed, but quite sad that like my killed a bear.
You were kind of part and parcel of those bears dying, much like you were in these quests. There, look, you were there. You could have stopped us, but you didn't. See, like the first thing I've always noticed, like whenever you hunt an Arzuros, is you normally happen upon it while it's just being quite peaceful, just eating some honey in an area. So I always don't feel horribly bad because I'm not as attached to bears as Luke is, but I still feel a bit bad, like interrupting it, because it does seems like it is just having a little munch on some honey.
That's the main way you can
Yeah.
get the royal honey, isn't it? Like for the, like, I think there's sometimes some side quests where you have to get royal honey, and it's generally knocking them over whilst they're grasping from a tree, I believe. So
Would you reckon that's like honey mixed with Arzuros drill or something?
I just wonder if it's the best of the
Might
best
just be,
honey,
yeah.
which we can't reach because we're pathetic humans, and he's a big bear.
A big blue bear.
True.
Bear in the big blue house.
I was waiting until that came up.
One thing I've noticed as well when you're hunting, I don't know if it was just with the Redhelm or if it's with the regular Arzuros fight as well, that when they if you're fighting them like in a water area and they try and swipe you, they'll knock fish out of the water as well.
Yeah, that's what the normal one does. Normally when you meet them in Misty Peaks, there's generally a shiny with a fish, what the Arzuros has pulled up.
Yeah, I noticed it in the Redhelm fight as well when we were fighting him, like he was swiping and knocking fish out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously that's what they do with salmon, isn't it? They
I don't think they
That's-
generally go to attack something else and then happen to whack a salmon in the head. But, you know.
well, maybe they go to attack the salmon and accidentally hit us.
No, that
Maybe on mischief.
Stop
just
trying to
hungry.
defend the bears.
So yeah, when we did our hunt, I was insistent on capturing it and not killing it, which Jay was happy to go along with. But Andy thought it would be really funny to deliberately kill it on one. It was a race against time, me trying to lure it into this trap while Andy slashing away at it with his sword.
I hope there'll be some fun outtakes from my desperate attempt to kill the fuck out of it.
And then when we fought the Redhelm one, we didn't even need to kill it. No one realised I put down a trap and he died.
to be fair, it was just that was the Redhelm's fault. He's been too much of a hard axe when he wasn't limping. If he was limping, I would have been, backing off.
Talk about the Redhelm for a little bit.
That's because he's a nasty punk, isn't he? The design is quite obviously punk influenced. I feel like he's got the walk. I think they've even come out and said that themselves, like Capcom.
You don't think they designed it after a sexy redhead?
The reason why the development team gave Redhelm Arzuros that red-coloured fur is because they wanted to show that it was, quote, the strongest of bears.
Everyone knows that green bears aren't very strong.
But yeah, he's got like that red mohawk.
The red mohawk and then sort
He
of
gets-
side hands coming out the side.
Why didn't
Yeah,
they
it's
purple
like
then?
famous.
Purple's just as regal.
He's got his kind of his spikes are kind of like the spiky bracers. Might see a punk wear. I don't know. Yeah, I've always kind of thought he was kind of a punk design. I'm sure they've said as much. Very cool design monster, as most of the deviants are. Bit of a trickier fight, all told. He seems to. I think it's just more the beefed up his attack. He seems to just do more damage when he swipes you.
And he's definitely much tougher defensively. Like if you hit him in the back, he just bounce if you're on less than blue. So
Yeah,
he does
so
that great big stray demon butt stomp a lot as well.
Yes.
he does do the butt stomp a lot. Yeah, like this, like straight. I like with the. Listen to Guess's Flask. Yeah, I like that. I like that. But yeah, really cool design monster. Tricky fight. I think they'll be a lot tougher on the kind of the harder levels of the fight, because we did take him out, not without too much trouble. But I think if he's a higher rank, there's some difficulties with that.
Yeah, he landed a couple of good hits, but he never, like, it would always be one, and then I got away. It was never like coming down on me, and there was no way I was getting out of it alive.
Well, that's always going to happen with a low rank quest, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you with your 200 less armor than us, if you're not struggling, you can imagine that we really weren't.
It's probably just a kind of byproduct of the fact he's designed on the Arzuros there, is just because you can roll away behind the regulars. I suppose that's where they've maybe given the butt stomp. So like he'll do that a lot more often, because that's how you've learned to fight the Arzuros, just get behind them.
It's like how a lot of the monsters in Dark Souls 2 and 3 suddenly had an attack when you got behind them.
Yeah.
That's how everyone beat everything in Dark Souls.
Yeah. Listen to Guess's Flask. Like.
I didn't realise we were advertising our other podcast.
Yeah, well, it's coming back to the DLC.
Did I miss the bit where we got a contract from ourselves to mention it?
Talking of his attacks,
Too
he does
smart,
he does a great big bear hug as well,
He does do a big bear hug,
which probably is why he's got spikes on his wrists.
Yeah, I suppose so.
He picks you up and digs the spikes in.
Yeah, makes sense.
A nice hug, that's the wrong way to go about it.
So yeah, as well as being obviously based on bears, I think a little bit of the design is based on the Megatherium, which is the giant sloth. Then you watch Walking with Beasts.
No.
Okay, well he was in that a fair bit, and there's also a great big skeleton of him in the natural history. He looks, if you looked at the picture of it, you think it's a bear, but it's related to the sloth. But it had sort of armoured, like, bone bits under its skin on its back.
Okay.
Which whenever you look at a diagram of it, it looks exactly like how they've drawn the Arzuros shell.
Yeah, makes sense.
And he's also, quite amusingly, one of those prehistoric creatures which all the weirdos think is still alive.
What?
Well, the Megatherium only died out sort of within human history, like 1,000 or 2,000 years ago. And there are still a few jungles and that where it's considered like, so it's sort of one of those Bigfooty type creatures. And people still think there's giant sloths knocking about in the jungles.
No, I just can't know, can you? You can't know.
And it does look a lot like that's what the Arzuros is based on.
I can see that. Get it together, game designers. Come on.
Where's your original creation, Do Not Steal? It's like...
Yeah. I want Edgelog the hedgehog, please.
Edgelog.
I think that's more or less all we can say on the Arzuros for now, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's good coverage.
Basic bitch.
So I know the wait for another episode of Monster Mash is as annoying as getting sand between your toes, but next week we're hunting the Cephadrome. So thank you for listening to another episode of Monster Mash. Suppose you can do all the following us. Where can they follow us, Luke?
They can follow us on Twitter at Monster Mash Pod, and we're also on iTunes, YouTube, the internet generally. If we're not on whatever you listen to podcasts through, give us a shout and we'll try and sort it out.
I was actually going to suggest just tweeting pictures at AndyMan949 of Winnie the Pooh, but after that comment earlier, why not just tweeting pictures of sexy Redhelm Arzuros? That'd be good.
A specifically sexy version of him, or are you saying he is sexy enough to warrant?
Well, you said he was after a sexy redhead, didn't you?
I said that they didn't mold him after a sexy redhead.
Well, I want you to get tweets of that. It's up to you.
Please visit www.bearconservation.org.uk.
Gamingbears.com. Thanks for listening.
See ya!
We are fighting an Arzuros who will be in the big wet area. All of the trees.
I was up in your mum's big wet area.
Not so many trees there, but there's some bush.
There he is.
Oh bother.
What?
Winnie the Pooh there.
Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Ah, that's not the hunter art I thought I had.
These aren't the 100 hours you're looking for.
Andy, did you just get a film reference? Right, I'm gonna cap him.
Yeah?
Yep. I don't kill bears, Nick. Surely you know this by now.
He's trying to kill the bear.
Andy, if you kill him, I'll come around your house and kick you.
Oh, Andy! I'm a neutral party here. Oh no.
No, don't do it, mate! Don't do it! Don't
Yes.
fall in that hole!
Oh, he's missing the chance!
Yeah! You son of a bitch.
I never thought an Arzuros would be so much fun.
Right, I'm actually gonna swap to some armor here. We're fighting Deviant next.
Pew, pew, pew.
He's sleepy! He's sleepy! Who's your favourite video game bear?
My favourite video game bear? The one from Disaster Day of Crisis, because he was the bad news bear in Endgamer.
Oh.
Imagine that.
This guy's up there.
Arzuros.
Yeah.
I like the bear in a ball in Infamy.
Yeah.
The bear.
Banjo, obviously, was pretty cool.
I didn't actually finish reading it, I just saw inside me and I was like, what?
It was Wake Me Up Inside, Save Me. Wake me up inside. That's a song, Andy, just so you know.
I'm familiar with the song. Songs I'm not bad with, come on. It's movies I can't do, not fucking songs.
Oh, you bastards!
They realised he was limping.
I put that down!
I saw you, honestly, I didn't see him limping either.
I didn't see him. I didn't think he was ready to cap.
How sad he is.
Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. He's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead.